Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 738 for Tuesday, the 1st of July, 2025. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag, Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby 360G, and joining me today is...
It's Graham, or G Hamox 14, as he's sometimes known.
And Sensei Switch.
Yay! No Nick, he's on holiday.
Very nice too.
He's in Bulgaria.
Nice.
Bulgaria.
All right.
That's where his missus lives, so he's probably visiting family. So
Probably cooler there as well.
Probably. Yeah. Well, I've had the paddling pool out for the kids, so that's been quite nice. Finally invested in a portable aircon unit, which has been lovely. You should look at one of those for your room, Darren. I think you'd love it. And
Possibly, yeah.
yeah.
But it's kind of like summer will be sort of petering out within the next couple of months, and then it's into autumn. I think the best time to probably pick one up is around sort of winter time. You probably get them a bit
even cheaper. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I was telling Graham before the show that my man cave, because it's very small, it regularly goes over 30 degrees, and it's just unbearable. Especially now I've got my boy's PC in there as well. That's double the heat coming out, and
so technically you're using it for your workspace.
Yeah.
And you work from home.
Yeah.
So technically you could say this is something that you require for work.
Yeah.
Could you write it off as a work expense?
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, because I was telling Graham so basically you got to put a hose out the window. So yeah. I've been doing that, but it didn't come with a window kit for the UK windows. The standard push out window. So I've had to order a window kit that's coming tomorrow. So basically just seals off the window when it's open and just leaves a hole for the pipe.
Right.
So that should make it even better in air. But even then, it's been lovely today. It's been under 20 degrees in here all day with two PCs running and an Xbox. So just a little bit of gaming. Me, my son and daughter are all playing Sea of Thieves together in this tiny little room today with the aircon on full blast, and we were loving life. So, yeah, it's nice. Yeah. So that was all good. I hadn't played Sea of Thieves for ages, so we just did we did a few missions, dug up some treasure chests, killed a few skellies. Yeah, it was nice. And a big hello to Old Man Off Grid AK. Hope you're doing well. In Discord. Oh, I've just noticed my camera's not working. Oh well, you can look at nothing. Strange.
Probably melted.
Probably. It does this sometimes. I have to unplug it and plug it in again. The old plug it in and, I don't know I don't even know if I want to be on camera today. I'm so hot.
Well, not as hot as it used to be, obviously.
No, well, I don't have the aircon on in here at the minute because.
All right, fair enough.
Because my mic would pick it up, and it's actually in the bedroom at the minute. It's been moved into the bedroom to get the kids to sleep.
Fair enough.
Just give me a sec while I unplug my camera and plug it in again.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Best jingle ever.
Yeah. I don't know. Auto glass repair, auto glass replace. That's up there somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Doesn't get jingles quite so much now, do you?
No, well, I don't really listen to the radio anymore, so that's where you used to get a lot of them.
Yeah, true. So I don't watch any terrestrial or listen to any terrestrial broadcasts at all, really. And I'm not missing it. I'm not missing it one bit.
No, I mean, we used to have the radio on at work quite often, and you used to hear the same 10 songs every hour, basically almost on rotation. It's just like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And even when you put on like the golden oldie stations and stuff, it's like they've literally got a crate full of like 30 records that they just constantly play.
Yeah. Right, hang on. I think I'm getting somewhere. Just found it, but why is it not? Hang on.
Riveting.
Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to sort.
That's all right.
Some reason it just doesn't want to. My streaming software just doesn't want to. Just doesn't want to have it. I don't know
It's
why.
probably StreamYards or something. I have people love that.
Just trying to change the settings. Hang on. Hey, it's working. There we go. Right. Anyway, now we're up and running. Let's talk about Darren going first for a change, because he's the only one who's played a new game that's come out this week.
All right, I was waiting actually.
You want to wait? I can talk about stuff.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, we can still rotate round. Yeah, still do it in order. Otherwise, it'll throw it all out, won't it?
Well, okay. So why doesn't? Okay. Well, I've already talked about Sea of Thieves, so that's already one game I've talked about. So let's go off to Graham.
Well, somebody was talking on a podcast about games that came out in the last generation. And I had a look because they mentioned a game which I know had been on PS Plus, and I know I sort of tend to stick them in my basket every month. But I played Streets of Rage 4 on the. It's actually the PS4 version. I added it to my catalogue. I don't know when, and it just happened to be in my sort of PS Plus games added sort of library. And I haven't played it for a massive long time. I just threw it on one evening just to sort of, well, it was a hot evening. I got in, I had the door open, and while the room was cooling down and I was having a drink, I just sort of played this for an hour or two. It's it's one of them games, isn't it? You know, it's a sideways scroller. You pick up chicken off the floor and you beat up hordes of bad guys. But no, I mean it's been sort of slightly redrawn, so it's kind of more, I guess, comic book sort of style.
Yeah.
In the way the sprites look, and it plays nice, and it loads quick, and it sounds okay. I mean, it is what it is. It's one of those games. It does what it says on the tin. You know what you're getting into. But no, I've been sort of whiling away the odd minute here and there, dive in for half an hour, just get through a couple of levels. But no, it's not a bad game. I don't know if I would have rushed out and bought it when it came out, but it was on PS Plus. I obviously added it to my basket at one point, and yeah, it's a good laugh. And I think it's got 2-player co-op as well.
Yeah,
At least 2-player co-op.
I think it might be 4. I can't remember if it's 2 or 4, but I remember. Can't remember if it came out Game Pass on launch.
It was on Game Pass. Yeah, I believe that's when you played it.
Yeah, and I struggled with it because I had no one to play with, and it got really hard, so I never finished it.
It does get a bit difficult with some of the bosses. I'll grant you that, but I am playing it, I think, on the easiest skill level, and I'm just kind of idly playing it while I listen to podcasts and things. You know.
Yeah.
It's my sort of chill game, which just sort of sits in the background. But no, it's all right. It's nothing outstanding. Does what it does, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good fun though.
Cool, mate. Yeah, nice.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think these games are always better with friends though. I'm not really. Don't really like playing these on my own. Get a bit bored, or find them too hard. Awesome. Right, now it is Darren's go.
Well, yeah. Let's talk Death Stranding 2 then.
Ooh.
Obviously played the first game, never finished it.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those ones where there's quite a bit to it, and then I got distracted, as you do. kind of a thing. Second one looked awesome. Been looking forward to it for a while. And it has sort of turned up, and it has been like a really pleasant surprise.
Oh, wow, okay.
This is a far more refined and I think going to be a way more enjoyable game for people to get into from the get-go. Because you're basically led through all of the different kind of game mechanics from the off of the game, like the start of the game.
Right.
As you're progressing through it. I'm still in chapter 1, but I'm about to finish it because I've just finished like the boss fight, and then I've been told to return back to somewhere after linking a bunch of areas together on the map.
Okay.
So yeah, in the first game, if any of you have like obviously played it back in the day, it involved mainly the aspect of you taking things from point A to point B.
Yes.
Yeah.
Delivery guy simulator.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, this is where you hide and you hold your breath and you move about and do all this different bits and bobs. But by I think it's like your second delivery, it's already teaching you how to like fight people, stealth takedowns, all that kind of Metal Gear-y type of stuff.
Okay.
That was kind of in the original, and then a bit later on it tells you how to like recon bases, take them out, then it introduces you how to kill the BTs, which are kind of like the weird spirits that
Yes.
used to hunt you in the first game and stuff. And you've got like training rooms as well, which they did actually add to Death Stranding Director's Cut and obviously the PC edition, where you basically get like you load into like these VR training rooms and try and get a good score, and it teaches you all the different mechanics in there as well. I will say, when it comes to load times in this game, this is like Spider-Man 2 levels of loading. I don't know if you saw the video I put in the group chat.
Yeah, I did, mate. I was very impressed.
I freaked out the first time I did it. I thought it was like a thing. I was like, no, it hasn't loaded me in that quick. Surely not. Like, what the hell's that? But it literally, as soon as you push X to load your file, that's it. You're just in.
That's
into
mad,
the world
isn't it?
with all of your stuff, and you're just like, what the hell?
Mm.
So yeah, in this game, you are still technically at the moment, storyline-wise, delivering packages and linking a network up. So you're basically connecting these settlements to the network so they can expand and order stuff. And settlements that are connected to the network basically end up being able to get more things attuned to those zones, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So the more you expand and deliver stuff to them, you get more points that can be allocated into building like guard posts, pillboxes, roads, timefall shelters, etc.
Okay.
And then, but I will say as well, like that. Again, the tutorial and the way the game kind of introduces you to all the different mechanics of the game as you're going through the opening deliveries, and that is really well done. So it literally teaches you the game as you're playing it.
Mm.
So
a lot better than the first one,
is
then.
a lot better than the first one. It's like super streamlined. So your first mission, I think, from where you start is basically getting to your home, and then you've basically got to go from your home to the first base, which is like right over the other side of a ravine, and you've got to go through like a city, which the bridge is all sort of fucked up and stuff like that. But again, one of the things I love about these games, you can completely plot your routes. So even though the city is occupied by bandits and stuff, if you want, you can completely go out of your way and circumvent it.
Oh, right, yeah.
And build like a ladder over the water and like climb up and jump over other bits and bobs, because you can see on the map the different heights of the terrains. So you know that that's like a cliff, and you've got to try and work your way around into a bit so you're not going to be falling down a mountainside if you don't have I can't remember what they're called, like a rope that you can hammer into the thing and lower yourself down.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't actually need those yourself, because everything you do in this game is being experienced by other players at the same time. So if you put like a ladder across the river, that will be there for other players.
So how does that work
And
then? Is
vice
it like,
versa.
is there multiple servers, or
I'm not too sure.
Surely.
But obviously things like ladders and other bits and bobs, there is a mechanic that is introduced in the second, like when you're going to the second location, called timefall, which was in the first one. So it's rain. It will rain, and anything that the rain touches, it starts to crumble it, like ages it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That also affects the packages you're carrying.
Yes.
Which at first I was kind of like, oh god, that's going to get fucking annoying, isn't it? Because obviously while you're out in this, you know your packages are getting knackered. Yeah. But you can craft stuff which is like a repair spray.
Okay.
Which you can spray on your packages to repair them up a bit. It's obviously limited use. But there are ways of obviously doing it. You can also build timefall shelters, which is basically a structure that you can place wherever you want in the world, as long as it's placed connected, I believe. And it acts as a cover to shut out all of the rain. And you can basically build one of those, dump all of your stuff on the floor next to it, and it'll be protected. Any sort of like of the BTs or like the spirit things that go near that area will be repelled away from it because it emits like a gas.
Right.
And also, if any of your gear had timefall damage, whilst it's underneath that shelter, it gets repaired.
Oh, that's quite cool then. Okay.
So there's been times where I've got to the end of a mission, and just before I've gone into the like the area to deliver it, someone's built a timefall shelter right outside.
Nice.
So you can just stand under it and it will repair all of your shit before you drop it off.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. That is good.
Yeah. There's like weird weather events that can occur as well. There was like a sandstorm that hits when you're going through like the city area, which obviously affects your vision, the vision of other enemies about as well. But it blows you about. So you've got to stabilise Sam as much as possible with the buttons to basically like make sure you don't sort of like fall over or stumble or drop any of your packages, because the more you pack onto him, the heavier obviously your load and the more susceptible you are to falling over or whatnot. The one thing in this that I don't remember from the first one is when you're walking around, you can see the paths that other people have taken. It shows you their footprints.
Okay.
Of the other people that are obviously logged in on your server or whatever it is. And the more people walk on those, it creates pathways. It actually wears away the environment and creates pathways.
Okay. That's interesting, isn't it?
So it's sort of like a smoother thing. So it's kind of like there is combat involved. I've had quite a bit of combat, like takedown, stealth combat, and other things. All of the weapons in the game you use are non-lethal because obviously, if you've played the first one, you kind of know that dead bodies being left out in the wild is a really horrendous thing. You do not want this to happen.
Yeah, I remember now.
So you're basically just knocking them out. So you've got guns that fire like MP rounds, which basically just like knock them out, or like a taser shot, or rubber bullets. But I've just upgraded. I think my guns are now lethal, so I can actually attack BTs with guns, whereas before I was having to use blood grenades. Whereas in the first game it was like piss and shit bombs or something, wasn't it, that you had to use?
Yeah.
I remember. But again, you can fabricate these. People can leave them out in the open world for you. You can build structures and then like help upgrade them for other people. You can drop equipment off, because while you're making your way to all these different locations, you've got like the scanner thing that's obviously on your shoulder that will do like a pulse scan of the area, highlight things in red that are obviously dodgy terrain that you should be careful on. Also picks up if there's enemies about or if there's actual collectibles in the world, because there's beryllium like crystals in the ground in this one. I don't remember them in the last one that much.
Okay.
where you basically go and pick them up, and for every 1,000 of them you have, it reduces or it increases the weight you can carry, or reduces the burden of the weight you carry.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. So it is good to go out of your way and pick them up, because obviously it's going to mean you can carry more going back and forth.
Is it
well.
one of the questions I've got, Darren, is from the original. Yeah. One of the reasons I fell off the game was because I found it just frustrating traversing some of the environments, but also, you know, you got that scanner on your backpack and it starts moving when there's the BTs are around, and then obviously it slows your movement down even more because you've got to sneak around. But then if you get spotted, all that black shit appears, and then the whale jumps up and you get stuck in it, and then you lose all your packages. You got to go and get them again. I just found that aspect of it really annoying.
Is generally going to be there, but you've now, like, already now I've got the option, like, if those floaty things or whatever appear, I can kill them.
Right, yeah, okay. Right.
And obviously, if you take out the big ones, they drop a load of those beryllium crystals that you can pick up.
Yeah, because I don't remember having that option in the first game at all.
No.
So, okay.
But yeah, it's almost like a micromanager thing, because you've even got to take into to stuff like your foot, like what you're wearing, like on your feet, your footwear wears out.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember in the first game I always had a pair of boots dangling off my backpack so I could swap them out.
Yeah. I mean, what I usually do is I usually leave them to get them to about half durability, and then when I'm at next one of the camps or whatever, I'll fabricate a new pair, switch them out, and then I'll just trash the others in for the materials, because you can constantly pick up. You're picking up stuff that isn't just this delivery stuff for other people. You're picking up like ladders and other things that can be helpful to you to navigate the environment, which you don't even have to keep. You can just drop them off in pillboxes to other players.
Right, okay.
To give them, to help them out and everything. But yeah, some of the environments and the visuals of the game are obviously like top notch, because the Decima engine is fantastic. It's just like one of those most impressive engines, and I, like I said in the chat before, I wish they would let other people use this engine or loan or buy it out for development, because it's such a good engine to use for optimization. Because this game apparently runs at like 1440 at 60, even on the base PS5.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive for how good it looks as well.
Yeah.
And it runs, because I've played it on PS4, I think it was back in the day.
Yeah, originally, yeah.
I've played it on PC and on Steam Deck as well. And it looks and runs great on there. And that's one thing that is annoying, that it's not a day and date release on PC. It's only on PS5.
It's a PlayStation Studios game, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that just generally will be the rule
of
thing. It'll come like a year later or whatever, usually. And they'll probably do like a director's cut or something with it again and tweak and fondle things. The only issues I've ever run into is the occasional thing of like, oh, you've been disconnected from the network.
Right. Okay.
Which is obviously a server issue, but I think there's quite a lot of people playing it at the moment, so trying to keep up with everything that's going on is probably going to be quite manic.
Yeah.
But there's already some people out there that have built some pretty amazing sort of stuff when you're travelling around. You're like, oh, dude, you've put that there. Awesome. Thanks for that. And you go up and give it likes, because it's all kind of a social media-y kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you can even be following someone's trail.
Yeah.
And sort of like give that likes in the fact of like, oh, good route you've taken here, dude, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's cool, yeah.
And I also appreciate the full way of like, you can pretty much, I think, get almost across any of the landscape you want, just as long as you've got the means to be able to do it. And obviously going out of your way will sometimes get you extra packages and stuff
Yeah.
for delivery, which will increase your star rating with said base that you're delivering them to. And by upgrading the star ratings, it gets you more equipment that you can craft as well.
Yeah.
So you'll have different new types of grenades you can craft, or different guns and stuff like that.
Yeah. Nice.
And even when I was fighting the boss, I was literally fighting the boss, and another player's ghost or something like popped up out the thing and was like, "Hey!" And he was holding up like a level 2 version of the gun I was using,
Oh, that's
which did
cool.
more damage.
Oh, nice.
And I just ran over and I was like, "Cheers, mate!" Like, I took it and was like hammering the boss away,
That's
doing
awesome.
more damage to it. And I was like, "It's just cool in that kind of social sort of way that it all works." But you could still thoroughly enjoy the game offline with none of that actually being there.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a nice bonus for it to actually be there.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Because I have noticed an uptick of people playing the first game as well now, because the second game's out, which is quite cool to see.
I think it would happen. I mean, I definitely want to go. While I was playing it, I was like, shit, I really should have gone back and finished the first one before doing this. But there is like a story recap, so you don't actually have to.
Yeah, yeah.
And the story's pretty off its tits anyway, so you kind of get explained a lot of it at the start, and you're sort of introduced into the different characters and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
But it is definitely its own unique, interesting experience. And like I say, it's far more streamlined. You can literally go in guns blazing and stuff into encampments and things if you actually want to do. Just to be like, yeah, I'm going to go into that encampment, I'm going to take all them fuckers out, I'm going to steal all their shit, and then I'm going to sell it or pass it on to some other players and stuff. Because while you're scanning them as well, it'll tell you what they're carrying.
Okay, yeah.
So you can sort of like plan stuff out that way as well. You've obviously got like that weird route planner on your mini map as well, which is like a ring that's fitted to your thumb. You do like a thumbs up sign and it brings it up.
Okay.
The controls can be a bit iffy at first, like where you've got to hold the different buttons. Like up on the D-pad is backpack management, right on the D-pad is one lot of your equipment, left on the D-pad is like your other lot of equipment. So you can still piss and things like that if you want. And then I can't remember what the down one is. But there is actually an auto sort feature for your backpack as well. So it'll just evenly dish out things as much as possible across your backpack and stuff, so you're not going to be tipping over as much while you're on the move.
Mm.
But yeah, I have now got the option anyway. After connecting everything, I can now spawn a vehicle.
Oh, that makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah. But then obviously later in the game, just like the first one, other players can build zip lines and like all sorts. And I think I can also build roads as well. Because I was thinking to myself, shit, how am I going to get across some of the rivers? Which now actually swell. Like the rivers actually start to rise.
Okay.
Because there's a day-night cycle and stuff. The weather changes, and yeah, like rivers will like raise like levels and stuff, so certain parts become more flooded.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that is cool. That's that's something you don't really think of what would happen in a game, but that is pretty awesome, man.
Yeah. So I was just like, oh, how am I going to get back with this? And I was like, well, if I drive to here, I'll then go get some of the materials out, and then I'll go over and build a road over or a bridge over the river, which other players can also use, which will get me more likes and stuff, like for people using your equipment and things.
Yeah, nice.
Like I say, I'm really enjoying it. It's so much more accessible and stuff than the first game. As much as I enjoyed the first game, the music has kind of been toned down a little bit in this one, though, I will say. So the music played like a huge part in the original game, didn't it? When you were walking across the landscapes, you'd obviously have music start playing and stuff. which does happen in this, but it's sort of like more. It happened a lot at the start of the game, from like your first part to the first area. But then in the other places, it's kind of only really kicked in a song when I'm nearing my actual destination.
Right. Okay.
Almost like a triumphant fanfare of like the journey's almost done. Here's some music to celebrate. But I think later on you can create like a music player and stuff, so you can just listen to music while you're going around whenever you want and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing, like, obviously the other locations and where it goes, because you won't be able to pick up everything for one of these bases in one run because it's too much for you to carry. So rather than actually go off to the counter and accept the next mission, you can just head straight back out, run back to an area where you remember there was a load of stuff, grab it all up, and then go and drop that off as well before picking up the next mission and resting up in your room. You've still got that weird thing where you can like rest in your room and have a shower and things like that. Oh, you can also suffer from like sunburn and things as well.
Oh, right. Wow.
Yeah. It's just like when I had a shower, it was like, and a rest, it was just like, Sam's sunburn has been restored or cured. And his fatigue is like started to wear off because you can eat and drink and stuff. No Monster Energy drinks this time, though.
No, okay. Obviously, that deal's expired.
It's obviously a nice little, what's it thing they had? Brand sponsorship at one point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think people are mostly going to be pleasantly surprised. I think now, because of the first game, people know what type of game it is.
Yeah.
But I think because it's way more streamlined and you can kind of seemingly approach anything the way you want to do it, like there are going to be people doing speed runs of this.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Because I'm Mr. Cautious. Like, so at the start when I was going across all the mountain tops and stuff, I was like Mr. Cautious, holding on with both hands, you know what I mean, cautiously going across. And then I've just seen people like bombing it. And I'm just like, mate, you've got the baby on your chest. What are you doing? Like, if you stack it. Oh, there's also like earthquakes and other weird phenomena that can happen as well in the world, and it will tell you like the magnitudes of the quakes that are occurring and things as well.
Okay.
So it feels in that sense like a very living and breathing sort of world that you're actually part of.
Okay. Interesting. It is interesting. I mean, the cool thing is, as you say, like it's inspired people to get the first one. It's super cheap now. My only worry with it
still looks amazing, the first one.
Yeah, the graphics look amazing.
Looks even better.
I think you need to be in the right frame of mind or the right mood to play a game like this, though, because every time I've played it, I've fallen off it after a couple of hours. I got the bike when I played the first one, so I could travel around a bit better.
Built, actually, yeah.
But I don't know, man. I just found the game just more frustrating than fun. But I think that might have just been my mood, and I had other games I wanted to play and stuff like that. Because everyone who's finished the first one has raved about it. Everyone who's played this one is saying how good it is. So, you know, it's definitely something to these games.
I mean, it's definitely a very interesting, weird gameplay loop that he's come up with.
I was going to say, if anybody wants to try the first one, I believe it is on the PlayStation game catalogue.
Oh, there you go.
Is that the standard or the director's cut or whatever it is?
I think it's just the standard. So you may be able to dive in and sort of just see whether it's your thing, I guess, and just sort of give it a try. But I think it is the standard edition on there. But obviously, for a premium, they'll sell you the upgrade. But
yeah, I think it was only like £8 or £10, to be honest. The one I got, because I got like the PS4 to PS5 upgrade rather than go out and buy it again. I just did like an £8 sort of thing.
Yeah, I've got the I've got both editions on me on Steam for some strange reason. So And they definitely
and
run.
You've still got all the. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so and it runs really well on the Steam Deck as well, which is good. So, were you saying, Darren? Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say you've still got like the crazy like photo mode and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You can have him doing like the weird poses and sticking his tongue out and other bits and bobs. I mean, you can have him winking and things like that, but I've got him in glasses and a backwards baseball cap, so
Super cool dude.
I'm guessing as you play through the game, you unlock other cosmetics and things and other outfits. You can like create and put patches on your backpack and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And things. So yeah, I hope it does really well. To be honest, because he's definitely streamlined and worked on the things that he liked, along with adding things to this sequel.
Yeah.
To make things a bit more interesting. And the people who are obviously like absolute diehards of the first game are going to be like they've probably already finished it, you know what I mean?
Probably, yeah.
Like speed running ahead and probably getting a lot of enjoyment in building loads of stuff to help out other players.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, I've seen a couple of screenshots of some sort of spoilery areas that people you go to later on or go through later on, and some of them look absolutely fantastic.
So is this a different setting to the first game then?
Yes. So,
okay.
It's not really a spoiler per se, but the beginning of the game takes place in Brazil.
Right. Okay.
Which is obviously the lower half of America. After you've connected America in the first game, you kind of have gone missing, MIA. And the other parts of the game take place in Australia.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
Now, I've just had the plot thing turn up that's actually in some of the trailers, if people pay attention,
right.
of how that happens.
Okay.
And again, it's more weird and crazy sort of stuff.
Right, okay.
But yeah, considering like I've been thoroughly enjoying the game so far, and I've only literally dealt with 2 of the characters from the original game yet. I haven't bumped into any of the new characters or like the antagonist of the first game or anything like that. Right. So all of that stuff is still to come.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
So I'm just literally just kind of almost finished tutorial zone.
Wow.
Kind of thing after like 4 hours.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But then again, like I say, I have been running back and forth and just going like, well, if I quickly run back there, this goes to this person, I can drop that off. And then if I work my way back up around there, I can get that extra little order favour that they want, and then I can drop that off up to them up there. And also, that looks like there's a house at the top of that mountain. I have to go up there and see what that is, which I did. I'm not going to say what it was. It's obviously for something a bit later on, but I did go up there and check that out. And I was just like, yeah, having fun.
Nice. Cool, mate. That sounds good. Yeah, I'll say like a lot of people have been raving about it in the Discord as well. So I can see that it's a game that a lot of people are loving. The Metacritic score is way up there as well. It's like 90 or something. So
yeah, I think there was only one company that seemed to like dislike it or gave it like a 7, didn't they?
Oh, okay.
And I did notice one of their downsides was like classic tropes around women or something. And I was like, pardon?
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know.
What?
Exactly.
It's very strange.
Guess we'll find out as I get further into the game or something. I don't know. Yeah. Is it women have children or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a classic trope, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Death Stranding. Unfortunately, like with the fact that I'm pretty much working the entirety of the next week and week plus.
Yeah.
It'll be a while until I get back to it. So the world will probably look quite different by the time I log back in again.
Probably.
It'll probably be filled with like built structures and pathways and stuff, and I won't even probably need to build a road because someone's probably already built one.
That'll make it a bit easier for you, won't it? Very cool. Cheers, Darren. No, it's interesting. I'm glad to hear about that. So for me, my main kind of the game I've probably played the most this week again is F1 25. I actually finally finished a whole season with my team. So that's quite a lot of races because I've been doing half length races. So each race is taken just the race. Each race takes about 45 minutes. Plus you got qualifying and practice. So each race, like each event day, takes well over an hour. I've pumped about 40 hours into the game now. Really enjoying it. And I don't know what keeps coming. I think what's bringing me back to it over and over at the minute is one, the graphics are stunning. And I know you hate for me to say it, but it has ray tracing. And actually, like they've implemented it really well on this because because the camera that most people use on this game is what you can see on the video now. Is kind of that TV cam where it's above the driver's head. So that's kind of so that's the view that I use, and basically, especially like it really shows it off on the night races, like in Vegas, like all the reflections on the lights, like when you're driving past the hotels, for an example, you see like an actual reflection of it properly on the metal of the car, on the paintwork. It's and it's just like those little things. It just looks so realistic. It's just wow. It's absolutely amazing, and all your mirrors work properly, and everything just looks gorgeous. And it's even like the little things, like when your tires start to go, you can actually see your tires going. Like you can see the wear on your front tires, or the rear ones if you're looking behind you. Yeah, so like there's all these little things that they've added into it. I did a little bit of reading up about F1 25 as well online, and apparently it's because I played a lot of 23, didn't really play much of 24, but apparently 25 is the biggest upgrade that they've done in years in a lot of areas. So one of them is the graphics and their implementation of the shadows and the ray tracing stuff as well. The weather effects are amazing. The night and day, all that stuff looks amazing. But also that management mode that I've talked about the last few weeks, which is basically F1 Manager, which I don't make anymore, but it's pretty much in this game, and that's the mode that I've been playing the most. I've made my own, so I've made my own team, Web Racing, and you can hire and fire drivers. You do the contract negotiations. You have to manage your budget. You build upgrades for your car. You got to wait for them to be built. Then you got to choose which driver's car to assign them to before more are built. And it's all those little things. It just adds more to the game than simply just driving. You look at
how many options, like even like the FIFAs and things like that have with the Ultimate Team and the career mode and all that kind of stuff as well. It makes sense for them to add that kind of stuff into Formula like racing games and that as well.
Yeah, so I was chatting to Peebs yesterday in party chat, and I was saying, because like for him, I was saying to him like F1 for me at the minute is like your FIFA, because like Peebs is an avid FIFA player. He buys the new one every year. He does the Ultimate Team and all that, and it's like it's kind of that engagement where you're doing these other things to build your team, even though this is single player. But there's just a lot of content in the game because you've got your that management mode that they've only added this year. It's new for this year and it's really good. You've got your career mode where you can make your own driver or choose a driver and just drive for a team like Red Bull, Ferrari or whatever and go for a season. You've got your time attack, and you've got like a leaderboard for the time trial, so I've done a bit of that. You've got a story mode in it. So they didn't have that last year. So basically it's just a drama of a team, like a made-up team of two drivers, and a story in there. And then they've added this year as well that actually unlocks tomorrow is an F1 movie mode as well. So I went and watched the movie on Monday, which was fantastic. But they've added, you've got to buy it. It's £8 for the add-on, but it's basically, it has so you get like a sample, and I did one of them. It's like it shows you like a clip from the film, and then you're driving the rest of that part of the film. It like goes into you playing it, if that makes sense. So it shows you a clip, and then
God, what was it? I know they used to kind of do it in wrestling games, didn't they? And football games, where you'd have like the scenario mode, where it'd be like you're 3-0 or 3-1 down.
Yeah.
10 minutes left in the game, and you've got to recreate the famous 3-3 or 4-3 victory or whatever it is. And I think they've done it in wrestling games as well, haven't they? With like, different scenarios and that. Yeah.
So basically, so it shows you a clip of the film, and then you play through that part of it, and you get like unlocks and stuff for doing it as well for your character. So the other mode is the F1 World, where that's the online portion. So you get like daily challenges, weekly challenges, and you have your own car. And as you do that, you earn these in-game credits, and it gives you upgrades for your car, new mechanics, for example, like different people to work for your online team, and it builds your car up. So that's like the online portion of it, apart from the multiplayer. But I will say the multiplayer is quite chaotic. It's usually you get a quick 1-lap quali, and then it's like a 5 or 10 lap race, and it's just carnage, absolute carnage. So I've not really played the online much, because for online racing, I kind of stick to other races, which I'll talk about in a minute, because I played a lot of one last night. But I'm really enjoying this year's F1. It's probably the most I've played one for quite a while, because I remember on 23 I did an online co-op career with Frosty, but he's not bought this one, and it does have it in this one, so you can do like a full campaign in 2-player co-op, either driving for the same team or different teams. And I was meant to do some with Turk Monkey from the community, but our times just haven't aligned as of yet. But it's definitely the best F1 game I've played in a long time. They've got so much content in there, and the cars feel really nice on the handling, be it either on the wheel or the controller. It's just a fun game. I've been playing it shitload, so yeah, I'm really, really enjoying that. Just on another note of racing games, I jumped back into Forza Motorsport last night with Gavlar from the community, and we played for about 3 or 4 hours just online, and they've added actually quite a lot of new content to it, which is quite cool. So I think I talked about before, they added the 20 or 25 year, I can't remember now, was it 25 year anniversary single player content to it, but they've also added a whole new kind of career type mode now as well, and in the last week or so. So there's loads of single player content now, which is fantastic, which gives you more cars at when you finish that, which is fantastic. The game is still like they've, as I've mentioned before, they've drastically improved the quality of it, so it's not crashing consoles or glitching or anything now. It's just a good solid racing game, which I'm really enjoying, and it's just good for a little bit of just to play and chat shit with your mates. So yeah, just wanted to mention that as well. And back to Graham.
Well, I actually haven't played very much apart from Streets of Rage, really. I've done a little bit of Light Brigade, the VR game I was talking about last week, but I've only done about 3 or 4 runs. I've unlocked a second class. The second class has a submachine gun. And I'm kind of just sort of pushing on and playing that when I can think of it. And I've been playing on the game catalogue because I noticed it was on there. They've released a PS5 native version of Katamari, which I've been kind of dipping into its weirdness.
Is that Beautiful Katamari or Katamari Reroll, or?
It's called We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie.
That's on Game Pass as well. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. So I've dipped in, and again, I've played that for about half an hour, but that really is all I've played this week, because when I've been in, I've been sat outside because it's been so bloody hot.
Yeah, don't blame you, mate. Nah, makes sense. Okay, that's
So
fine.
that's me
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
What? Okay, it's fine. What about you, Darren? Anything else?
Well, I was hoping to play. I'll just quickly skip through the last few things because they're quite light and quick, to be honest. I was hoping to play, obviously, the Cyberpunk update to see what that was about, but it got delayed. And they haven't given any specific date.
Okay.
So it's just being delayed until it's ready, kind of thing. So I'm thinking they wanted to be either a little bit too ambitious with it, or maybe they wanted to put more in there because they'd rather do a lot of stuff in one update rather than pay money to do multiple updates.
Yeah.
Because obviously it costs money to put updates out on these systems. Which I didn't realise until the whole Phil Fish debacle with oh god, what was the name of that game? Fez, wasn't it? Fez on
Oh,
the 360.
that's
He didn't
it.
want to
Yeah.
pay money to update it, did he? So it stayed broken or something, wasn't it?
Oh,
Well, there
yeah.
was like an issue with that. Yeah, so that didn't come out. On to updates. The long awaited for like 4+ years, I would say, next gen update for Black Desert finally arrived this week.
Oh, right. Okay.
Along with apparently the discontinuation of the PS4, Xbox One versions of the game.
Oh.
So I think the servers for those have gone down completely now, and obviously you just now, if you have the PS5 or the Series consoles, you just have to download a new version because it's not even an update for the original game. It's its own separate client, which I didn't find out until that morning when I had to download a new version of 81 gig.
Lovely.
It was just called the Upgrade Install Pack, even though it's not. It should just be called the Upgrade Pack.
Right.
And then when the servers were supposedly up, I went to play it and it said, oh, this needs an update. An 80 gig update.
Jeez, but that took a bit of time then.
So it was like almost 3-4 hours of me downloading 160 odd gigs over a couple of periods of the
Wow.
day. So yeah, I've mucked about on it a little bit. Obviously, I haven't done too much. I made a shitload of money selling stuff on the marketplace that I had building up for ages. It now runs obviously better in 4K because it's kind of one of them games where you almost need to play it in 4K because it doesn't look that great in like 1080 or whatever the hell it was.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know if it runs at a solid 60 in 4K, but it's definitely a hell of a lot smoother than it was. So there was that. And the last game I really played this week, and I've only played it a little bit, was they released Siege mode on Space Marine 2.
Oh, what's this then?
It's basically a horde mode.
Nice.
So it's basically, as far as I'm aware, is five bulks of 5 waves that you basically have to survive. And you earn requisition points for completing challenges and clearing the waves and bonus objectives, which you then use to purchase like new stim packs, new armors. You can hire other sort of AI Marines to follow you around to bolster your damage. But the best thing on there is you can basically pump loads of money in, to eventually be able to buy a dreadnought.
Ooh.
Which is one of those big mech things that kind of is in the campaign.
Nice.
It's basically the torso and severed limbs of like a dead marine encrusted in a metallic coffin, basically, and given a last chance to dish out some violence to the heretics. And yeah,
nice.
It's pretty damn tough. So each wave, you obviously get attacked from different angles, you get the different objectives, and every 5 waves you get the final wave, which basically chucks out like a terminus enemy at you, which is like a boss.
Oh, right.
The first one, you got one boss, The second one, which was Wave 10, you get 2 bosses at once.
Oh, lovely.
And when I got to the third wave, or Wave 15, we've had 3 bosses at the same time.
Wow.
And this is whilst, you've obviously got like the Lictors and the Raveners, and they added like the Spore Cannons and the other sort of like elite mobs.
Yeah.
They're constantly running around on the battlefield as well.
All right. Bloody hell.
And there was a time when I think we was playing with my mate, and I was like, holy shit, I'm getting some serious 10 FPS going on here at the moment, because there was just so much shit going on screen.
Yeah. Wow. I need to get back on this,
enemies
man.
Everywhere, mate. I was just like, this is insane. And we was only doing it on normal. Apparently you can do it on normal or hard.
Wow.
But yeah, we've got to try and figure out how to get through it on, because it's not necessarily the hardness of the enemies or anything like that. It's the amount of them.
Yeah.
And the fact that you might be a demon of like multi-parrying enemies and stuff, that's all good. But if you've got like 2 Lictors and a Ravener jumping at you from behind, whilst you've also got a Spore Cannon firing stuff off constantly as well.
Yeah.
Or a Neurothroat coming in and throwing down balls of plasma at you and that, it gets pretty mad. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was pretty much what I was expecting, almost like you're not supposed to survive kind of thing, see how far you can kind of get. And you get rewards for each sort of like, depending on how many waves you can get through as well.
Nice, that's good.
You still earn XP and all that kind of stuff whilst playing that mode as well, and requisition credits, etc. They did also chuck in a couple of extra packs as well, like cosmetic packs. It's like the White Scars pack and the Blood Angels pack.
Oh, nice.
And also by playing this siege mode, I played it twice, and each time we came out, I was unlocking cosmetics for weapons.
Okay.
Like weapon cosmetics as well. So I was like, sweet, you're actually earning like random cosmetics and things for your gear and that as well while you're doing these modes.
Nice.
So good
Very
stuff.
Cool.
I thoroughly expect. Actually, I don't know whether they will. I was about to say I thoroughly expect them to do like a Game of the Year edition of it with all the content. But considering like all of that part of the content is server side anyway, technically they don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Because if you buy the standard game, you're getting all of that anyway for free. All of the online updates for it, you haven't had to pay for any of them.
Yeah,
like the extra missions and modes and stuff.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of it, I think, with giving people a decent amount of content, that's for sure.
Nice. And that's the reason why a lot of us had it in our top 5 of the games of the year last year.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right, back to me, I guess. I've not really played much else. The only game I've been really putting time into is Stellar Blade. This game, I don't know how long it is. It's so long.
It's fairly long, yeah. It's just due to the hub area and all the different mission structure stuff as well that kind of adds to it.
Yeah, not the problem, but the thing is,
stupid tower missions and stuff as well.
There's a lot of side quests.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot, been trying to do all the side quests in the area. So I've done all the so basically there's a second big desert area, and I finally
I think I hate.
Yeah, so I finally managed to clear all the side missions in that big desert area. I've got my fishing rod, so I can go fishing as well. And I've literally just finished that area. I did the main mission in that desert area, and I've gone back to the hub, and now it's telling me that we're going to fly somewhere else. So that's kind of where I'm at. If you've got that far, I don't know, but
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at now. Really, I'm still really enjoying it, mate. How like some stuff is a little bit frustrating. So like the main missions in those 2 desert zones have been the ones that have annoyed me the most, because you go in this lift and you go into this underground base place. I'm trying not to give.
Oh, with all the terrible platforming stuff.
Yeah.
And the instant death bullshit.
Yeah, that's been the biggest letdown for me in the game is that, because it does get a little bit annoying. All the jumping and dying and having to redo it again, that's been a little bit annoying. But the actual, everything else, the combat, as I say, the graphics and all of that, the side missions, like the Nikki DLC has been really good. It's basically just playing like the Nikki phone game if you've ever played that. But yeah, I think it's a great game. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I like all the customization, not just of the clothing for Eve, but of the skills, because there's quite a lot of skills to upgrade on the different menus. Like for your gun, for your sword, you can upgrade. Like her spine, for different things. So
the exo spine.
Yeah,
you slot different chips in there
that's
for different effects and stuff.
Yeah, so
upgrade it to hold more of them.
Yeah, different things, like you can have bonuses to like health or defense or extra damage and stuff like that, which is cool. So yeah, man, I think probably one of the reasons why I'm enjoying it more than you, Dan, is I've been playing it on easy. And I think for someone
I
like
was
me,
going to say earlier as well, I can't remember if Death Stranding, the original one, had because there's 5 difficulty settings on this new one.
Oh wow, okay. Wow, I don't know what it had on the original.
I don't remember if it had any, to be honest. I think it was just as is.
Oh, I mean, I can't remember. It's been many years since I've played it, so or long enough for me to forget that. So, but I will have a look because I have reinstalled it to play at some point because everyone's talking about it. So. But I really want to finish Stellar Blade before I do another single player game.
Understandable, yeah, because you'll just get spoiled. That's why it was the annoying thing. I've kind of wanted to get on with a bit of Claire Obscure, but I was just like, no, I want to play this and talk about it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I've kind of gone into that mindset of if I'm buying a game, because I don't really buy many games these days. So it's mainly Game Pass. When I buy a game, that's I'm going to play that. That's why I've not really played anything on Game Pass or anything for a while, because I bought Stellar Blade. I want to play it, and as I say, I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would, actually. So, and Peebs has played the demo and he really likes it, so he's going to buy it now on his PlayStation. So
he'll enjoy it, because like I say, it was one of the PS4 5 Pro showcase games when that dropped initially.
Yeah, that's right. So there's that, and I just wanted to mention still playing Magic the Gathering Arena, absolutely loving that. I'm hooked on it again, and that is about it. Fantastic. So let me just I know you want to get going in a minute, so let me just do the shout out and then do a couple of questions, and then there's one bit of news down that I want you to stay around for.
Oh, nice.
Because it's quite interesting.
I mean, I'll probably be on for about another 10 or 15 anyway.
Yeah, I think we'll be done by then. So I just want to give big shout-outs to the All Access Patreons, John Smith, Philip Thompson, and Neil Quigley. Thank you very much. News-wise then, I'll get the news and then the questions. A couple of Xbox slices of news that have come up this week that I found quite interesting. One of them that I made me think of you, Darren, actually, is this article come up, and it says Xbox seems to have fully abandoned physical media.
Pretty much.
So I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's fucking long, but basically it's saying that Bloober team are not putting out any physical games on Xbox anymore. But basically the article, basically, to sum up, says that games coming out on both PlayStation and Xbox, PlayStation are getting physical copies still, but Xbox are not.
Because, I think I can kind of understand it from their point of view, but I still think it would be nice if they offered like a limited run kind of thing, which is apparently going to be the case with Hellblade 2: Senua's Sacrifice.
Right. Okay.
That is actually getting a physical copy courtesy of limited run.
Oh, that's good.
So I might pick that up if that's the case. But yeah, we've pretty much noticed that Hellblade 2, it was one of their first party games, never had a physical copy.
Mm-hmm.
Whatchamacallit, the Avowed, again,
Yes.
one of the big first party sort of games, never had a physical copy. I think they pretty much know that like 95% of the people that they have on that ecosystem are just generally buying their games and playing them through Game Pass and stuff anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
The only thing that kind of worries me a little bit going forward is if they do decide to do another system, is the fact of, are they going to go down the route of like the Sony thing where they just do the digital machine and there's going to be like a separate disc add-on for people to be able to access their games from disc that they used to have from obviously like 360 upwards?
I don't think it'll have a disc drive. I mean, there's already rumours at the minute of the next Xbox is basically just going to be a PC you put under your telly because it's going to apparently allow you to play Steam games on it, Battle.net, all the PC apps, to use them for your games as well. So it's basically just going to be a mini PC.
It kind of goes against their whole thing of play your old games and access them wherever you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but they don't. But like,
with
old
the
games don't make money.
Compatibility and stuff for them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so there was that, and gone.
Is there because there was a fair bit of sort of Xbox news as well, wasn't there, this week? There was apparently the one that you might possibly talk about in conjunction with another company.
Okay.
Which I think's all over the Xbox, the MetaQuest stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not in my news. I find that a bit weird. Right. So they've done. I do know what you're on about now. So basically, it's just a MetaQuest, but it's got an Xbox branding on it.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's because you can stream Xbox games to it. Big whoop, in my opinion. So this is it here, for those of you watching on the stream, Dougster.
It's quite a nice looking headset, to be honest.
Yeah, but streaming games, mate, I've always said this, and I know like people will be very vocal about it, like Frosty. Oh, it works perfect. I don't notice any delay. I call bollocks on that. There's you always notice a little bit of delay. Well. You always notice a little bit of like the picture quality like degrading every so often. Yeah, no, it doesn't depend on you. Now I've got a gig broadband and I've tried streaming, and I do notice it big time. I think some of it's down to how far you are from the data centers, etc. And I just think on that, I mean, it sounds cool in principle because it's basically just like a giant screen in front of you playing your Xbox games. But I just don't think game streaming is there yet for everybody, or if you notice it like me, because it's there for everybody.
Stream it from your are you able to stream it from your console to the headset, and link it from the Xbox to the headset in some way, or is it all strictly through their own meta?
It looks like it's just the cloud streaming, from what I've read. I could be wrong, but that's how I've read it.
A way around it, if the Xbox actually picks it up as like a separate thing, and you can stream to it, almost like the PlayStation Portal or whatever the hell that thing is.
Yeah, true.
Which could be a bit better, and obviously then Xbox owners could have their own VR headset as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other piece of news, obviously, the Xbox-wise, I'm not too sure if it was. I can't remember where I heard it, but I did hear a possible rumor that Xbox are stopping selling their consoles in Europe, or they're going to discontinue selling their systems in Europe.
What?
They're going to leave the stock that's there now to basically sell out, and then they're not going to bother sort of bringing any more because no one's buying them. Like they're really not selling particularly well enough for them to keep making them. They might as well just carry on selling the stock that they've got, and then once it's gone.
So what I'm reading now is saying that Microsoft is going to stop marketing Xbox consoles in Europe. Yeah, so they're still going to sell the systems, but
that's fair enough.
Yeah,
because I was thinking like there might be a bit of a panic rush on them in that if that's the case, people buying like backups, etc.
Yeah. But also, Xbox are in the news for apparently there's going to be more layoffs next week or this week.
I've heard that rumor as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been reported in lots of news sites saying that they're planning lots of layoffs next week. As part of restructuring, blah blah blah. They've done loads of layoffs the last couple of years at Microsoft / Xbox already.
Yeah, you think how many publishers and stuff they've got under their belt, and
I know
software developers and stuff. There's a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously, if they're pushing their stuff out onto a sort of system that doesn't necessarily have the massive player base that they need for those numbers, this is why we're obviously seeing certain titles going onto other systems.
Yeah.
Because if they were getting the numbers on their own system, they'd be like, sweet, this is it. We can just stick like this. But no, they're obviously like, no, we need to make more money, so we'll put our games onto the other things. And as far as I'm aware, I've heard things like Forza and Indiana Jones and that have done quite well for them.
Yeah, they have, especially Forza. Yeah, that sold loads on PlayStation. So yeah, a game I forgot to talk about, and it's actually in the news. I actually played a little bit more of it this week. Mind's Eye.
All right.
Yeah, so I am weird. I've actually been quite enjoying it. However, I have gotten to one part of the game where it just seems impossible. I just keep on dying over and over again to these annoying drones. But apart from that, I've still been quite enjoying it. It is janky though.
I'm surprised Peebs or like Stunty hasn't picked this up because they loved the sort of like slightly janky games, didn't they?
Well, I reckon by the year end you'll be able to pick this up dirt cheap. One of the reasons for that is that the developer, Build a Rocket Boy, has begun the layoff process. And sadly enough, I didn't know this, Build a Rocket Boy is actually based in the UK.
Yeah, it's quite a few ex-GTA people, isn't it?
Yeah, so they've already started the 45-day consultation process, which I've been through myself a few times at various companies, and then they will no longer have jobs. Over 100 employees, which is sad.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them will probably be people that were brought on to finish the project.
Yeah, probably.
Was it Skingle who came on here a couple of times? He was in and out of like places like Codemasters and that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
where he basically just come in and help tidy up and arrange like a finished release for a game, and then obviously once they're done, they're not needed, so they then go off somewhere else.
Yeah,
kind of thing. So that will happen, but I imagine if the game had sold as many as they hoped it would, then they would have all been kept on to keep working on content and other stuff.
Well, it's obviously the upper managers who decided to shove it out, and I bet all the devs were like, it's not ready, and got ignored, and look what's happened. So, and it's also put IOI under a bad name because they published it themselves and they're doing that.
Yes, and they came in quite late, didn't they, with that? Because I didn't even know IOI were obviously publishing or helping with it.
Yeah.
Until obviously the Game Awards.
Yeah, same.
Summer Games Fest stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a bit shitty. So, yeah, just wanted to put that out there. And the last thing, PlayStation Plus is celebrating 15 years.
Of charging people or just PS
of PS Plus, I'm guessing, because it won't be 15 years of PlayStation because PS1 came out in like 95, I think it was. So, Diablo 4's going to gone to PS. Is the July games for PS
two good
Plus?
games in PS Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, Diablo 4 and King of Fighters 15. And Jusant. I don't know if you pronounce that, but yeah, so some decent games going there.
One of the better PS Plus months, even though I said to my mate, I was like, "Oh, are you finally going to play Diablo 4?" And he was like, "Oh, no. I was like, "It's free." He was like,
Yeah, but the DLC is more than a lot of games, which is really fucking stupid.
It was in the sale recently for, I think, 50% off. But like I said to Coops the other day, I spoke to him because he plays it quite a lot online, and I've played with him before.
Yeah.
It was like when the DLC actually came out, I think I dropped off it because there was something else to play.
Right, yeah.
And I didn't want to almost pay the full price of a game for literally a DLC with one character.
Yeah.
Which everyone would be playing as well.
Yeah.
Because everyone had basically hammered all the other characters by that point. And yeah, I fell off one of the seasons, and it's kind of one of them ones where you get all the different rewards for the seasons. Once you've missed out on a load of them, it kind of puts you off where you just think, well, I've missed a load already, I don't care, kind of thing. Whereas some other games are actually quite good. I will say Helldivers is another one that has done that kind of seasonal thing perfectly well, in the fact that you can complete and work on old rewards from other content, even if you weren't around when it was out, which is awesome.
Yeah, that is good that they do that. Questions, and this is other news. We've had 3 questions, and this one you might, I don't know if you've seen this. Off the Pace asks, what do you make of this Persona 5X? It's a mobile port from what I can gather. Have you seen this? Persona 5X?
No, I've heard people on Twitter talking about it. I just assumed it was a mobile game because I've never heard of it. Is this the one that's actually getting a console port? Or is that Persona 4?
It's on Steam, I can see. It's called Persona 5 The Phantom X. It looks like a normal Persona game, but it's free to play. That's strange. But it's got lots of thumbs down.
It's probably got loads of gacha gambling stuff in it.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, I've not played it, so I can't really answer. But it's free. Yeah, will be full of gacha, and that's what people are moaning about on Steam. Actually, I'm just having a quick look through the reviews. But there's lots of positive reviews as well. So, yeah, but it's definitely gacha. So there
are a lot of people who love gacha games for some reason.
Oh, people like to spend money. You look at all those people that spend money on those FIFA packs. It's just like that, isn't it? You know, you're paying for packs to get characters and things, aren't you, in those gacha games?
The only problem with the gacha stuff is I suppose it's similar with FIFA with the Team of the Week stuff as well. You get a lot of things that are just time limited. Yeah,
that's right, yeah. Yeah, so you feel kind of forced into spending money now instead of waiting, yeah. The other question is from Clarky, and then he says, what's the best colour for a console? I loved the deep, shiny black of the Mega Drive, proper plastic.
See, I always like the black systems because obviously they all look good, nice and neat under the TV like that.
Yeah.
But I will say they attract the dust like magnets, and it can be a right pain in the arse.
Yeah, the Xbox One, the original Xbox One was a dust magnet because it was that weird shiny, wasn't it? And it didn't have a proper button on the front. It was like a touch button, and I remember that being a proper dust magnet.
Also, I will say, as much as I like the look of some of the older systems like the Dreamcast and the PS1, etc., that have been obviously white or grey or something like that, the colours on them go weird after time.
Yeah, like the SNES goes yellow, doesn't it? It's like because of the type of plastic it's used. Yeah, I have to say my PS1s haven't changed colour though. Got quite a few in the
No, that's
loft.
like a kind of grey sort of colour. Although I have seen some of those that are slightly weirdly coloured. Maybe they've just been left in a shop window for too long or something.
But I think the Dreamcasts can go a yellow, can't they?
Yes, that's another one that does. Yeah.
So definitely. I think it's
there was
just
a really nice black Dreamcast, wasn't there? I think it was only in America.
Wasn't there like a special edition or something? I can't remember.
Maybe.
Because they did loads of funky ones, didn't they?
Although one of my favourite looking Sega consoles was the all-white Saturn that they did in Japan.
Ooh.
That looked really nice.
And they had different shaped buttons on the Japanese one as well, I believe.
Did it? I know there was one system, I can't remember what it was, where the D-pads and stuff, or the analogues were like completely different. Like they were humped in one country and like concave in another.
Weird. That is strange. Yeah, it's weird, the variations of consoles, isn't it? Like the Super Nintendo is one. Like they look like
America and
the
Japan and England.
Like I think in Europe ours was the same as the Japanese one, like that.
Yes.
But for some reason in America it was a completely different shape. Really weird.
I quite like the look of the American system. I think it was a prestigious thing as well. Obviously, if someone had one in the UK, it was like, I've got an import one.
Yeah.
That was it, actually. No, tell a lie. It was the American Super Nintendo, because the buttons, the coloured buttons on their controller, like the lilac colours, one of them was indented.
That's right. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah. Completely different. But I quite like, I know a lot of people will say black is the colour of choice for consoles because it fits in with your unit. But I quite like the different colour ones because it makes them stand out a bit more. Like
360 was another one that stained, wasn't it, over the years?
Well, yeah, but you could change the faceplates on that, which I thought was cool.
And then they did away with that good idea.
Yeah, it's a shame, really. So, yeah. What about you, Graham? Do you like funky coloured consoles, or are you more of a black man?
Do you know what? I think you can't go wrong with your wood grain finish.
Oh, Atari boy, eh?
Bring it back.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, a lot of the consoles, like the GameCube, came out in sort of transparent blues and greens and reds, didn't it, at one point? But they don't seem to do that anymore, do they?
Well, the fun is gone. The fun has gone.
Well, now you just buy like a vinyl sticker that goes over your faceplates or whatever, don't you?
Yeah.
Or like a weird skin. Don't they like sell like plastic shells for the Xbox One series consoles and stuff?
Yeah. But I think it's just a time like that time of funky stuff's gone, because remember, you like the Apple computers used, like their monitors would be like funky colours and shit, but everything like that's funky colours is gone. Everyone's gone a bit boring. Even McDonald's has gone boring. There used to be funky, fun places with Ronald McDonald and all that, funky shaped buildings, and now they all look the same.
Yeah.
And I must admit, you'd go to different McDonald's and they'd have a different themed weird thing upstairs. I remember the one in Chatham, it was like a giant talking tree.
Wow.
That used to host kids' parties and stuff. I'm pretty sure I went to a kids' party at McDonald's.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we had a McDonald's near RAF Alconbury, and it was in the shape of a UFO.
Oh, cool.
It was an actual UFO. Not real, but it was like a proper UFO shape. It's gone now. They've demolished it. Sad times. But that was good, yeah. Yeah, man.
If you really want to get depressed, you should watch some of those abandoned theme park videos.
Oh, a bit YouTube. Spooky, mate. A bit spooky.
Well, they go to places like, I think I watched one recently, it was about Camelot, which I don't actually remember too much about, but I remember it getting advertised on like CITV and stuff back in the day. It was like based on like King Arthur and everything, and that's all been completely demolished to the ground, pretty much.
Oh, there you go. There's a picture of the McDonald's that I used to go to. If you're watching on stream, I'll put it in our WhatsApp group if you guys aren't looking on the stream. I just feel there's a bit of nostalgia there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was very funky.
You're feeling depressed.
Yeah, I'm feeling old.
It's not necessarily that as well. It can also be the cool thing of like, oh, this would have been awesome to like show my kids or whatever.
Yeah.
If they could still experience a lot of the cool things that were around when we were younger.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there was another question. Last question. Oh yeah, last question, and then we can all go to bed. From Cutty, it's a good question actually. He asks, "What were your favourite gaming magazines growing up?" He used to love Mean Machine Sega.
Yeah, there was I think it was Mean Machines issue 1. I pored over that for what felt like months. Because it was basically all about the Mega Drive when it sort of came out in Japan, and they were obviously reviewing all the games that released for it.
Okay, yeah.
Doing things like Golden Axe, Revenge of Shinobi, Ghouls and Ghosts and stuff.
Anyone remember C and VG, computer and video games?
Yeah.
I used to like that. That was multi-format, and it was sort of used to cover a bit of everything. It used to have walkthroughs and reviews and previews. You don't get that sort of content anymore.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you had the two best magazines of that era for obviously the systems. In my opinion, was like Mean Machine Sega and Super Play for the Super Nintendo, which had more of a sort of like Japanesey angle to it.
Wow. I had pretty much every single issue of PlayStation magazine back in the PS1 days, mainly for the demo disc that you got every month, which is fantastic. But I don't know, man. It's weird. Like, you think back to those days, like, because I was around 15, 16 then, and obviously that was late 90s, no mobile phones and that, and I used to just spend hours just reading every single page of the magazine, just taking my time and that. And I just think you wouldn't do that now at 15 or 16, because you always like you'd be on your phone and just zipping through stuff really quick online and that, and you kind of you've lost that kind of art of taking your time and digesting things.
Well, that's it. I mean, the game announcements and things like that, you'd only know through magazines. Or you'd read in a magazine like, oh, they're making a sequel to that game. There's one screenshot. Oh, I can't wait. And this was like back in the days when E3 wasn't really like streamed online or anything like that. So you didn't even get to see half the games that were shown off behind closed doors to industry people.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to go on places like LimeWire to download like a horrible 360p trailer of a like a game thing that was shown off at E3.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it used to like hear about everything first in the magazine, and because then everything would come out early in Japan, like a year in advance, and then you'd get all the early reviews.
The best, every now and again, if you used to import games, you'd get hold of you'd see a preview for it, and then you wouldn't really see anything else until the reviews dropped.
Yes,
kind of a thing. There wasn't usually like that constant drip feed. And if you imported certain games, you'd actually have that game and you'd been playing it before the actual reviews hit the magazine.
Yeah.
So it was like, I still remember back when the GameCube, because like when RE4 was first announced, it looked completely different to the RE4 we got. With like the atmosphere and everything. You'd probably be able to find that online, like early RE4 footage before it actually changed into the one we knew. And I imported that from America before they actually reviewed it in any magazines here.
Wow.
And like within about 5 to 10 minutes, there are certain games when you play them, within about 5 to 10 minutes, I was just like, holy shit. Like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that night it was the excitement as well of obviously sharing games with your mates and things. And I literally was like, right, I'm going to go down my mates tonight. I'm going to bring my console and I'm going to surprise him with it. Because again, he only ever saw like the pictures in the magazine and like that very first trailer, and this was nothing like that.
Yeah.
And when I stuck it on, he was like, "Oh, is this just a Resident Evil game?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right," and I was like, "It's that one." He was like, "Which one?" I was like, "That one," and it's not how you thought it was. And I think he played it solidly for about 6 hours.
Wow. That's mad.
Like, I actually even watched him play it like about another hour or so further than I'd actually played.
Jesus.
Because it was just that good, like the atmosphere and the way it was set out and done.
Yeah.
Like when you consider that was the first time, obviously, that series had taken that kind of jump from obviously the fixed camera angles, classic Resident Evil titles.
Yeah, man. Good times.
Have you found it or tried looking for it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. Oh, there actually, tell a lie. There was a speaking of Resident Evil, there was a little Capcom showcase thing, wasn't there? The other day. Yeah, there was a Capcom one and an Arc System Works one.
Ah.
Both were kind of like not really worth watching, in my opinion. You're just better off watching the trailer for the thing you're interested in. Yeah, they talked a bit more about RE9, but it being third person and first person. It's up to you how you play it, which is good because I like the fact that there's a first person mode because that means, fingers crossed, it gets supported again. And there's a VR mode that you could do with it. Pragmata, I think they showed pretty much the same stuff as they did before at the Summer Games Fest. And then it was basically just on Onimusha 2, things you already sort of knew about, and the new Onimusha remake or the new Onimusha game coming soon. Next year or whatever. So Monster Hunter bits, that's getting a big title update at the end of this month as well. Free title update. It's either title update 1 or 2. I'm not sure. And then some extra costume stuff for Street Fighter 6. And showed off a Sagat intro thing, not actual Sagat proper gameplay, like extensive.
Yeah.
Just like a trailery thing. It's just like a bit annoying in that case. And the Arc System Works, I think everyone went in there expecting to see like loads of fighting games and stuff, which they're pretty much known for. And I think they just showed off like maybe a segment of like the, oh God, what's it called? Hunter x Hunter. And then Impact or whatever it's called. Fighting game, which has a demo out now on PS5, and I think it's out in a couple of weeks. Looks all right. Doesn't look as super polished as a lot of the games they put out, but I think it's a different team that's doing it. And then loads of indie platformy sort of shooty stuff that people weren't expecting.
Nice.
Because everyone was like, oh, they're going to show off some more Marvel Token Souls or whatever it is, and didn't.
I think we're done. I think we're done. I'm sorry, I'm getting really hot in here now.
Yeah, that's
so. And I know, I'm conscious that you got to get up early as well. So all good in the hood, guys. Thank you very much. I think we're gonna, we'll call it here. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Some great questions this week. Keep them coming. Already, they do make us think of things that we don't normally think of. Thinking of old McDonald's is wow, crazy times. So good to reminisce. Anyway, so thank you very much. We will see you next week. Goodbye.